Our next speaker is Dr. Thomas Kendall. He is truly a champion of liberty in the medical field, President of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. Last spring he joined us, and he helped us lay the cornerstone. Today, he will help lay the capstone in our victory. Dr. Kendall? Here we go!
Thank each of you for coming today. Thank you for holding the umbrella. I've seen many more people sitting in stadiums watching games under similar circumstances, and the reason you're here today is far more important than that.
Yes, sir. Go Gamecocks!
I do want to tell you why I'm here today, and there are 4 reasons, and they increase in intensity. The first was because I was invited, and the other 3 will be evident as I go forward. I do want to give a disclaimer about the white coat. This is not a coat to wear on the steps of the Capitol. This is a coat to wear in the examining room or in the hospital, yet for a reason I was asked to wear it, so take that as it is, please.
Good job.
The second reason I'm here today is because I can be. The liberties God has given us, secured by the blood of Christ and the blood of faithful Americans, have guaranteed my freedom to speak to you today. I can speak to you today as a doctor of medicine with special interest to address the threats that are in place to undermine the nobility and honor of medicine. I can speak to you today with grave concern that unless South Carolina recognizes the inherent dangers resulting from the implementation of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, we will lose the blessings associated with American medicine, and we will lose the liberties that we have enjoyed. The third reason I'm here today is because I am compelled to be here. There is a war against doctors.
That's right.
The patient-physician relationship is under attack. Private medicine practiced by patient-oriented doctors is being destroyed by the politicizing of medicine.
Say it.
The government is not trained in medicine.
That's right.
The government is not experienced in medicine.
That's right. Say it again.
In fact, it is evident that the recent trends in U.S. government intrusion into health care are more consistent with Soviet socialization, historic Nazi Germany, and Italian fascist regimes than the principles of liberty guaranteed by our U.S. Constitution for this, our American Republic. I'm compelled, as one of 900,000 medical doctors in America, to defend my patients against tyranny. The patient-physician relationship is the cornerstone of medical care. And as we have seen with the early signs of the implementation of the Affordable Care Act, the relationship of the patient with his doctor is in jeopardy. We are in peril. I wish I could tell you that all doctors agree with me and are opposed to the government's engaging in medicine, but they are not.
It's an illusion.
Why not? One reason, I believe, is the failure to know the history of tyranny in cultures.
Shameful!
Another is the indoctrination of the politic of a utopian social democracy.
Shameful!
Ladies and gentlemen, the protections afforded us by the U.S. Constitution to guard our republic have been violated by our federal officials, and they continue to ignore the repeated appeals to correct these violations.
Shameful!
Medicine is not a jurisdiction of the government, and the government must get out of medicine. Health care has been used by politicians to victimize the poor and the elderly and to enslave Americans to fear. We must have truth and facts, not lies and fiction. When a patient's care is determined not by the doctor with the patient's consent and confidence, but by government agencies under the dictates of the secretary, the politic wins, the patient loses. As president of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, I represent freedom-minded doctors all over America who are awakening to the deceptive socio-political influences that are taking us down the path of oppression in chains forged by unconstitutional decisions by those who were elected to protect our freedoms. After the meeting, I have cards here with a website that will introduce you to this organization, and I encourage each of you to get one. I'm compelled to let you know that last Friday at 9:30 in the Circuit Court 4 in Washington, D.C., our counsel, Andy Schlafly, argued for the opposition to Obamacare based upon the origination clause. The origination clause of our Constitution states that all revenue bills must originate in the House of Representatives. There was one Democrat judge, 2 Republican judges. The context was hostile to that idea. We're in trouble. The Affordable Care Act is so unconstitutional, I am compelled to speak against it. Just recently I had in my office a German lady, a patient, and I asked her, what do you think of the condition of things here in America in regard to medical care? She said, I don't know. I said, were you living in Germany at the time of the Nazi regime? She said, yes, I was. I said, what did you think about it? She said, well, my father was in the German army. I said, well, did you think well of Hitler? She said, he gave us bread. And I said, what do you think of that now? She said, it's not good. And finally, why do I come here today? Because I want to be here. I want to preserve our national heritage. I want my noble profession to defend our patients. I want to, in some measure, hold our legislators accountable to all that is necessary to uphold our Constitution. I want them to stop the destructive dependence upon the federal government for health care policy that the Affordable Care Act dictates. I want them all, and all of us, to be morally correct, not politically correct. I want young doctors to recognize the dangers that will happen in the future if we continue this course. I am so grateful to represent a profession that we all must have a part of, that we all are involved in, and we must be very vigilant that we don't let the reality of that profession be robbed by a politic that is taking over in our nation today. Yes. I'm so grateful for Mr. Chumley, for Representative Chumley, and for Senator Davis. Thank you so much for what you're doing to preserve a noble cause. And I conclude with these comments, again, thanking you for standing in the rain. It is far better to count the cost of liberty while the doors of freedom are still open than to count the cost after the doors have been shut. That's right. Amen.
That's right.
Thank you.